Aloysius was a phenomenal leader with our trip that we took to Gulu in Uganda from First Baptist Stockton. Two things really impressed me about him. One was the phenomenal time we had out on the sports fields, just sharing the gospel. We would go out there and play soccer. He is very relational with the people, and we just shared Christ with the people after that was done. He didn't feel like he had to do it all by himself. He allowed us to share. And then secondly, in the sites where we did the work, his detail, attention to discipleship was very effective. Getting us into groups with people from Africa and having us do Bible studies with them and answer their questions and just talk with them. So taking a group there was wonderful for me because our people got to do a lot of different things, and I could see the heart of Aloysius and his staff as just wanting to lead the people and to grow in a deeper relationship with Christ. So I would highly encourage anybody to support this ministry and also to go on a trip and be a part of a ministry like this.
One thing that I was able to sit in on was the HIV women's group, and it was really neat. They started sharing their stories, giving their testimonies about what they had gone through and what they had experienced and how they came to know the Lord. Many of them had come to know Jesus through actually Aloysius's ministry. And you know, a lot of times their children would come for the sports, and then these moms would hear about it and they'd start coming and finding out about these groups, these counseling meetings is what they'd call them. But a lot of times it's just sharing with one another and having some time talking about how Jesus had affected their lives, how they'd been healed. And it was neat. I've had some health issues myself, and I was able to give my testimony and totally share in that, and being a mother and being sick at times and close to death. I didn't have HIV, but I had some other things, and totally related to these women. You know, you see things on TV, and you see, you know, Africa and the little babies and the mothers, and you can't really relate, but being there and being able to talk to them and completely come down to a level where we're experiencing the same types of things, just in a different part of the world, and God created all of us.
You think about going to Africa, automatically it's the humanitarian aspects that it seems, at least in my mind, it automatically goes to. We want to go there, we want to, you know, bring medical help, or we want to bring education, or these things that are so needed there. When you get there, though, and especially with Aloysius, you know, those humanitarian needs are being met, but the more important mission is bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he takes that extremely seriously. That's what I could see happening whenever I was there in his facility, at his ministry, and the people that were around him. It really kind of refocuses your idea about what the mission is all about. You know, you're not there primarily to meet these other needs. You're there primarily to bring the good news of Jesus Christ and the hope of salvation. I hadn't taken part in a lot of evangelistic opportunities before that, so I really thought that was one of the best parts of the trip, was being able to be involved in that.
He meets people where they're at, so he takes that sports ministry and he knows what an impact that has on children and even young adults and then their mothers or family who are involved. And he meets them where they're at, and he goes and he gets in there and he plays the games with the kids, and he organizes events for the kids. And when you do that, then you can take them and you can sit them down afterwards and love on them through Jesus.
Tell us what kind of your tears are telling you right now. What do they bring back? What memories? What's thoughts?
Just the strength that I found over there. You know, like, you go and you kind of have a mindset, and you're trying to prepare yourself for what's going to be over there, and then you get there, and the people are the strong people. And like I said, you know, there's no hours of the day that work is required. They get up and they work as long as they need to, and you know, you don't find despair, you don't find disappointment. You just, it's something that they deal with, and they go on and they live their life, and the strength that they found in Christ has been unreal. You know, you would never know that they've faced such a difficult battle in their life.
In Uganda, it was more of, we really got to interact with the people and get to know them and see where they lived and in a sense, live with them and really experience everything that they go through. And we got to go to church with them. We got to work with their kids. We got to do physical labor with them. And it was it was much more of a relationship between just, it wasn't just here, I'm here, I'll do something for you, and then I'm going to go, and you don't even know my name. There was always translators, and that was more than a blessing because we got to actually talk to them, and they could talk to us, and we knew what was going on when we were sitting with them.
Aloysius and the SLI ministry was phenomenal. One thing that stands out to me about him and the whole ministry and his team is the way that they take the words of Jesus serious. And one thing I think of is when Jesus said, I must be about my Father's business, when he was 12 years old in the temple courts. I see Aloysius and his team taking that to heart. And we were about the Father's business the whole time there in Gulu, Uganda. We were just tirelessly going around and ministering to the needs of the people any way we could, through evangelism, through feeding, through sports, through discipleship. It was just nonstop. So it was just amazing to get those words. And one thing he said is he hoped that I would come back someday, and that we all would actually come back to be able to minister again. And, you know, who knows, help out with him again in the future. So it was amazing there. Life-changing.